Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this. This is Daily Puroresu for the 10th of January 2018. I'm host LK, going solo this afternoon, UK time. No podcast coming from me this evening. I'm going out to town with some of my mates. I'm looking forward to having a really good time after a brutal training session yesterday. I thought it would be good to let my hair down, as the females say. Let my hair down, going out to town tonight with a couple of mates. So looking forward to that. It's going to be a good night out. Hopefully not too hungover. Tomorrow's going to wake up early to watch the CMLL New Japan's Fantastica Mania show. Excited to do so. If you're listening live, please feel free to smash, bash, and trash that live comments of whatever you want to talk about regarding Japanese pro wrestling. That's what this podcast is dedicated to, as Japanese pro wrestling. Obviously, the video is going to be a review of the DDT Shimo-Kitazawa show, which took place on the... Let me get it up on my notes here. I took some notes. I watched the show on the 5th, which aired on DDT Universe on the 8th. And DDT Universe is one of those subscriptions where if you enjoy lots of content, it's definitely worth it, because you get DDT, Pro Wrestling Basara, Gambra Pro, and you get Tokyo Joshi Pro. All of that under one big universe subscription site, which I think is great. It's 900 yen, which I think is equivalent to about £6.50 a month, which in dollars is around about $7, $7.25. I'm not too sure. It's not that expensive. So definitely worth your investment if you are getting into DDT, or if you've never been. And the streaming service is the best, in my opinion, out of all of them. And this isn't a knock on any other streaming service. I think it's the best. I think it's better than the network streaming wise for me. The live stream's always beautiful. Post live's always beautiful. I highly recommend it. So let's get down to breaking down this show. Again, if you're listening live, you can put anything in the live channel, respond to all. But I want to hear a win, loss, or tie for any of you who lucky souls watch this show, because this show was one of those which I wasn't expecting to be as good as what it was. So I'm going to give the show a win straight off the bat. I was heading in thinking this is going to be a solid show with some good matches. This one delivered with a spectacular main event. So the location was in Tokyo, Japan, at the Kitazawa Town Hall. Attendance 210, which was decent. It looked like a good-sized crowd. And that's the thing with DDT. They run the Korakuen Hall. They run big shows. They have sumo hall shows as well. But they run these small towns. But they all make tape, which is what I absolutely love about it. So the opening match of the night was Akito and Koji Umeda against the Disaster Box team of Kazuki Hirata and Toru Owashi. Disaster Box using their comedy early on. Umeda, he will be facing Shuji Ishikawa in Ishikawa's final match for DDT in Umeda's 7th match of his 7-match trial series. If you remember, the DDT Maji Manji show took place on the 3rd post-match where Umeda lost. Shuji Ishikawa came out, slapped him, and that set up the 7th match in his 7-match trial series, which has been a good fun series. And this was a solid match here. This wasn't a part of the series. It was just a standard regular tag match. Owashi gets the hot tag. He comes in. There was a funny spot here. Hirata kept screaming at Owashi, I want the tag, let me in. Obviously in Japanese, and I'm presuming that's what he's saying. So he's getting annoyed he's not getting tagged in. So he just runs in, helps Akito suplex his own partner, runs back to the corner wanting a tag. He then gets tagged in, and it was absolutely brilliant. And then Umeda and Hirata had a really nice strike exchange, and then Hirata takes everyone out. He takes everyone out, including his partner. Puts on these light-up glasses. Starts dancing as his theme song's playing. His theme song is legitimately playing in the back. He's dancing, and then fucking Akito comes in, literally gut wrenches him. As he's in gut wrench, he's still doing the dancing, and Akito's trying not to laugh. You can see it. It was really funny. I find my style of wrestling is not comedy, but when it's done properly, it's hilarious. Like, the match was serious, but there was still some funny and comedic elements to it. And he hit him with a gut wrench, and he's still dancing on the way, and then just applied a sharpshooter to get the win for his team. So Akito and Umeda picking up the win. This is really fun, and you're picking up a win for Umeda, which makes sense because he's going to be facing Shuji Ishikawa. And Ishikawa's left DDT because he's no longer a freelancer. He's signed full-time with All Japan, which is a great get for All Japan. And who would have thought Ishikawa would have ever settled down? I mean, I've been watching full-time lots of Japanese wrestling for about a year and a half now, of like everything, the All Japan, the DDT, the Noah, the New Japan, trying to watch as much as I can. And I never thought I'd see the day where Shuji Ishikawa would be signed to a contract. I thought, when I started watching DDT, I thought, okay, he's doing lots of the DDT stuff, so I thought maybe signed with DDT, but he's signed with All Japan. It's a great get for All Japan. It just shows how financially booming All Japan currently is. And we went to a tag match. You had Damnations, Nobuhiro Shimatini, Soma Takeo, and Tetsuya Endo wrestling Shoten Doji's Masahiro Takanashi, Yukio Sakaguchi, and Tomitsu Matsunaga. Oh, this is just, again, full of talent. everyone's like, oh, DDT is this comedy show. It's really, really not. It really is not. I mean, Endo's great, Takeo's great, Shimatini's decent, Takanashi's amazing, Sakaguchi's even better than amazing, and Matsunaga's alright. Like, this is a really fucking stacked roster. And there's a matchup here, and I think it's next. After this one, that's just insanely just full some of the best wrestlers on the planet. So if you're listening to this video thinking, oh, this is just gonna be full of comedy, this not. DDT is not a comedy-based company. Yeah, there is some matches that have comedy elements into it, but there's also some great wrestling in there, which is why I still check it out. Takanashi as well, I want to point out, if you haven't yet, go back out and check out his KOD title match against Daisuke Sasaki at the Korakuen Hall. I think that was in either December or late November. It was an absolute banger. Go away and watch that if you haven't yet. That's a good introduction to Takanishi if you've never watched him before. He was the babyface in peril. Domination cut the ring in half, worked over him. Sakaguchi got the hot tag. He came in. He beat the shit out of anything that moves. He's such a stiff. He's kind of like, he wrestles this kind of shoot style. I'd call it a new style, shoot style. So he's kind of, he does MMA kicks, he does MMA grappling, he's kind of shooting, but he's not. I think it's as close to shooting as you can get, a worked shoot. And he's really fucking great if you love strikes. End over an assisted standing moonsault for a good near fall. And then Sakaguchi with a running bicycle knee to get the win. I wish they did more with this man, Sakaguchi. It's one of my only wishes is that he would get used a lot more and booked a lot more. I mean, not booked as in higher up on the card. I want to see him go after the KOD openweight championship. I want to see him, he's done stuff with tags and 6-man tag belts, but I want to see him go after a singles title just to see how he does, see if he draws at the Korakuen or whatever. But I think he's absolutely amazing. Really, really great wrestler. Then we had disaster boxers Hiroshima and Yuki Ueno teaming up with Kazusada Higuchi, Mizuki Watase, wrestling Strong Hearts, Sima Duan Yingnan, El Lindemann, and Saiki Yoshioka. I mean, the fucking talent in there. I mean, Strong Hearts, or as Cody calls them, good hearts. They're all four absolutely out of this world talents. And then you got big Gooch, Watase, fucking Hiroshima. Like, the talent in this one is that when people have the cheek and nerve to say DDT is just a comedy company, absolutely brilliant. And there was a really good stare down as well at the beginning of the match with, so I'm putting my glasses on, like, fucking getting hurt eyes. There was a badass stare down with Higuchi and Lindemann at the start that was absolutely brilliant. I would love to see that one-on-one. I don't know where it will be. Hopefully maybe in DDT, maybe even Wrestle 1, because I'd be completely game for that, because it's just absolutely brilliant. Big bastards. And Higuchi has so much potential. I know Patrick, who is usually a co-host on the show with me for Daily Puroresu, him and Dion especially, they're both really high on Higuchi. I'm on that bandwagon. Like, we're all three of us are on. We have different opinions, but when we all combine on opinion, it's like, dude, that guy is fucking crazy. Like, we don't agree on a lot, but what we do agree on, we fucking agree on. And Higuchi is the fucking man. Ueno was your babyface in peril. Strong Hearts obviously cutting the ring in half. And Strong Hearts, I gave this compliment on, I think it was the Daily Puroresu 2 days ago, or maybe 3 days ago, I'm not too sure. But I said I compared their tag work to that of Los Ingobernables in Japan, in New Japan. Absolute, just, they know where each other's going to be every fucking time. And it's absolutely beautiful to watch. Hiroshima gets in there, he botches a springboard crossbody, and that hurts because they did like spot, and Hiroshima was going to be the final conclusion of a springboard crossbody or a frog splash, whatever. And he botched, he slipped, but he just slipped and got up and just did a standing splash. So at least he turned it into comedy, and in DDT, I guess that's okay. Yingnan with a great cradle. I love a good cradle where it looks legitimately as if they're going to win, like there's no way they're going to kick out, and then they kick out and you get the pop of the crowd. I love cradles that rather than just a roll up or a small package. What to say with a backdrop suplex, dude, fucking brutal. Absolute brutal. Fucking Wadsley's only just been promoted to the main roster full time, and he's doing really, really well. It was, when I mean brutal, is that this show wasn't your stereotypical production wise. There was no hard cam. It was a camera on the floor and it followed you. The backdrop was coming like here towards, so it was like backdrop here, and you just saw his head land, and you're like, oh, that's absolutely sickening. Yoshioka then with a fireman's carry into a penalty kick, and then a shining wizard to get the win, you stiff bastard. That was really, really great. This was a great match, as expected, with Strong Hearts involved. Now they're signed with AEW, All Elite Wrestling. I'll be interested to see whether they come back to DDT. And the thing is, they don't have a home. They wrestle OWE, they wrestle 1, they wrestle DDT, now wrestling All Elite. I mean, apparently, according to OWE's thing, All Elite wrestlers will be wrestling over there as well. I mean, I'm game for that. And apparently, again, this was a source that I don't really know. It was just, when I mean source, I mean it was a Twitter guy. Saying that they're trying to create a work relationship with AAA in Mexico and DDT in Japan, they being all elite. And I tell you what, I'd be up for. And think about this: if they get the alliance with DDT, and Kenny Omega goes to all elite, Kota Ibushi's a freelancer; he's not signed anywhere. If you're telling me he could go to all elite and wrestle DDT as well, I'll tell you what, Golden Lovers would be a game changer. And the thing is, would Kota Ibushi go? That's the question. Who knows? That's just complete speculation, 110% speculation. I don't know anything about that. I just read online AAA and DDT were apparently people they're going to align with, and DDT will be great if they align with. Takeshita over in America will be amazing. Speaking of that, All Out's team of Konosuke Takeshita and Yuki Ino wrestled Damnation's Daisuke Sasaki and Matt Pooley. Takeshita won the DDT Grand Prix this year, so he'll be challenging for Daisuke Sasaki's KOD Openweight title, which is the equivalent of a IWGP Heavyweight Champion, the Triple Crown, the GHC Heavyweight, or the W World Champion. So that's their big main goal. So basically, Takeshita won a big tournament, and now he's the challenger, and Sasaki's the champion. So they're a tag here. So they did a good job of building to that match in this one. Mad Paulie, if you've never seen him before, is a more athletic version of Fale, and Ino is just a big beast. He reminds me of Yuji Hino. That's a fucking compliment and a half. Takeshita with a really nice belly-to-belly on Sasaki into Paulie, who sat in the bottom buckle, which was brutal. Awesome exchange with Takeshita and Sasaki. Just made me pumped for their match. And Japanese wrestling, they do that all the time. They do these tags, these traditional tags or 6 or 8 man tags where they build matches in there without promos, without anything like that, and it's just really good. It just makes you hyped for the match. They do a Tower of Doom spot, Sasaki over Tope Suicida with so much momentum, he went into the crowd, and then an elbow drop at the top followed by a crossface from Sasaki, got the win. Major champion looked strong, he pinned Ino, so it didn't pin Takeshita, and then he cut a promo post-match. I don't speak Japanese, so there's no point in me trying to translate what the fuck I said, but good stuff again, solid, really, really good stuff. Then the main event time, with the KOD Tag Team Championship and the Strongest K Tag Team titles both defended. The KOD are obviously DDTs, and the Strongest K Tag Team titles are the Kaientai Dojo's championships. So, not combining, but not even uniting, just a match for both belts. So these 2 belts won't become one. They're not a merging company. Just both the titles will be on the line. And it was Makoto Oishi and Shirai Asahai from Kaientai against Moonlight Express, which is Mayo and Mike Bailey from DDT defending the KOD titles. And dude, Bailey and Mayo are one of my favorite teams in Japan for sure. Absolutely brilliant. The tag team work is absolutely just fucking brilliant. I can't praise him enough. And Asahai done this like Black Menzo-Ri from All Japan's Cobra. Like he did the Cobra thing, and he did it so similar to Black Menzo-Ri. It's made me question if he's Black Menzo-Ri or if Nakajima, who we think is playing Black Menzo-Ri, has been watching Asahai from Kaientai Dojo. But I'm pretty sure it's Nakajima under the Black Menzo-Ri in All Japan. I am pretty sure. Oishi spits at Bailey, which I don't like spitting. That's one thing I will not ever do. Asahai with a big dive to the outside onto Mayo. Bailey with an inverted Spanish fly, which is just gorgeous. This was sickening. So Bailey going for a standing moonsault. Right, so imagine a standing moonsault. Picture it in your mind. Close your eyes, whatever you're doing. So he goes for a standing moonsault, and then as he's doing that, Asahai gets both of his feet up to his chest and kicks Bailey right in the head. I was absolutely sickening. Oishi with an assisted Canadian destroy for good niffle. Bailey, again, this guy's absolutely incredible. He would definitely be a major star in PWG, but obviously visa issues, which is a shame, because he goes to Canada, UK, and Japan, mainly in DDT. That's his home, really, if you ask me. But he did the shooting star double knees off the top onto Asahai, who was on top of both Mayo and Oishi. It looked absolutely crazy. Bailey then did a moonsault off the top to the floor. And then Moonlight Express, which is Bailey and Mayo, hit a double one-winged angel to get the win. So they are the new Strongest K Tag Team Champions, as well as the KOD Tag Team Champions. So they've got Kaientai's and DDT's gold right now. All I know for a fact is Moonlight Express will be defending the Strongest K Tag titles on the 13th of January against Ayato Yoshida and Tank Nagai at the Korakuen Hall on the Kaientai Dojo show. And Yoshida is obviously wrestled for New Japan. He did a couple of New Japan tours. Whether he signed full time, who knows? But he's going after the tag team titles over there, which is an interesting one. So yeah, really, really good main event. You know, I don't go on star ratings. All I know is it was a banger. and I 100% recommend you guys to check this out. 100%. I'm going to get to live chat. I know it's a really strange time, and we're covering DDT, which is a post-live show mainly. I know that from the old channel that we used to do. But I'm glad to be over here on KocoSports. Looking forward to producing daily content. I'm just loading the live chat up right now. Give me a second if there is any. And if you have any questions regarding DDT or absolutely anything, please feel free to put them in the live chat, and I'll respond to each and every one of them. Just getting this fucking internet to load, and then we can rock and roll with it. It thinks it's a great idea to just take its time all of a sudden, doesn't it? The joys of the internet. I don't even know if we have any live chat. It'd be funny if there isn't none. This is brought to you by Coco Plays. Everyone go check out Coco Plays. There is none. That's banter. That's next level banter. There is none. It is a strange time, and DDT is one of those where in the search engine it takes a while to appear because not everyone is Googling DDT. But thank you guys if you have listened live. I really do appreciate it. If you listen post live, I appreciate that also. If you haven't yet, check out KocoSports.net. But hit the subscribe button here. Hit the bell button. We've seen a massive growth on the channel since me and the team of that we used to be Loudmouth Wrestling, and now we've moved over to KocoSports full time. Since we've moved over, we've seen a good jump in numbers, and I'm really proud of that. That's a good thing. That means people who are listening over there are now joining over here. We did a Wrestle AM yesterday where me, Dave, and Booms covered our thoughts on All Elite Wrestling. In that, I left halfway through. I rejoined at the end. I was traveling on the bus to go training, which I found very funny. And also yesterday we did the All Japan New Year's Wars show from Shinkiba First Ring. That was me, Dion, and Patrick live after it aired. So please go out of your way to check that out if you have not yet. As well as the Manji DDT show review, we did lots of stuff in the can, so go check it out, subscribe, check out all the great content we put up. Me and Dave did a really good Wrestle Kingdom and New Year's Dash review as well, which if you haven't watched, go check that out, because it's absolutely brilliant. Two different perspectives. Him as a former promoter, me as a training wrestler, and both as fans. I think it was fascinating, absolutely fascinating stuff. So thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay safe, stay well, and I'll be catching your asses down the line.